Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now April 7th of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney and Lucasfilm, and exactly how Bob Chapek is really going to handle the new Star Wars TV series and movies to come in the near future. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that as of this point right now, a lot of changes are being made over at Lucasfilm because of Bob Chapek. In fact, he's really promoting a lot of creatives over at Lucasfilm, such as Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and even bringing a return of creator George Lucas to really have creative control over this new Star Wars universe that's really going to reshape Star Wars as we know it. Now, with that being said, the thing that's really exciting to me personally is the fact that when we look at everything of how Star Wars really is evolving before our very own eyes, I don't know if you guys actually heard the big news, but Rosario Dawson apparently got a multi-TV show deal for Disney+, which essentially means we are getting an Ahsoka Tano TV series, and the character of Ahsoka is going to be appearing in multiple TV shows. This most certainly has to do with The Mandalorian, the Kenobi TV series, and more, and so on and so forth. The thing that really does upset a lot of fans, though, however, was the absence of Anakin Skywalker in The Rise of Skywalker, and how a lot of that had to do with, of course, Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy. Now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are focused on the new Star Wars trilogy of films, as well as the new Star Wars universe. Now, currently, the new universe is being developed by Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and even creator George Lucas to create a better future for Star Wars in general. Now, it's noted that Kathleen Kennedy no longer has any creative control over the existing Star Wars projects that are in the early works. However, behind the scenes of The Rise of Skywalker, it's noted that during the first and second phase of reshoots, when Hayden Christensen was still on board for The Rise of Skywalker to make multiple appearances as Anakin Skywalker, Kathleen Kennedy was not all that impressed with Hayden's work as the character of Anakin Skywalker, and that it was Kennedy's idea to create Anakin to appear in an older design in the later scripts and reshoots, and that J.J. Abrams also had a role in making that decision. Now, it's noted that eventually Kathleen Kennedy did not want Anakin Skywalker in the movie, as it would take the limelight away from the characters like Rey and Kylo Ren toward the final cut of the movie, and that Kathleen Kennedy essentially fired Hayden Christensen and let him go from the set and only used recovered audio from Hayden Christensen as Anakin from a deleted scene from The Rise of Skywalker when Hayden was doing a scene with Daisy Ridley sometime in 2018. Now, Kathleen Kennedy was said to actually have expressed an annoyance with the Anakin scenes and that they did not serve a purpose in the Skywalker saga-oriented movie, as the film is centered on the character of Rey, who would become the new Skywalker. Kennedy felt that by including Anakin, the title of the movie would then make little to no sense for Rey's character. So, the thing about Kathleen Kennedy that just really makes me roll my eyes, I'll say this once more and I'll say it again, is that she's very incompetent over at Lucasfilm. It just shows you how she really knows little to nothing about Star Wars. Now, yes, I get it. You know, when you look at a Star Wars movie, you can't just, throw tons of nostalgia in a film just for the sake of throwing in nostalgia. I get that. But when you have a movie called The Rise of Skywalker with the lack of Anakin, or even Luke at that, we barely got any Luke in that movie. This movie in particular really needed a return of Anakin. I'll tell you this, the return of Anakin would have made this movie 3 times more successful than what it was. I'll say it right here and I'll say it right now, is that would have absolutely created more repeat viewings. I know I would have seen the movie more than twice, and yes, I did see the movie twice to make sure that, I still had problems with certain aspects of the film. Like I said in my review, in my spoilers review, and my initial reaction, is that this movie was like an emotional roller coaster for me. There's scenes that I love and scenes that I hate, and I've expressed that, numerous times before in the past. But when we examine Hayden Christensen as Anakin, right, it would have been so surreal to see his return as the Jedi Master, as the actual character who taught Luke Skywalker through the ways of the Force. This was actually told in books and comics that Luke actually had 3 masters during his road to becoming a Jedi Master. He had his father, he had Yoda, and Obi-Wan Kenobi guiding him through the netherworld of the Force. very interesting material. We will be learning more about that as we get this new Star Wars universe rolling. But, on the other end of things here, Kathleen Kennedy letting go of Hayden Christensen for those specific reasons just doesn't make sense to me in any way, shape or form. It just tells us, the fans, that Kathleen Kennedy doesn't essentially care about the fans, and when it comes to the core Star Wars characters at the very end of the day, right? So thankfully, she no longer is involved with making creative choices for these new Star Wars projects. Hayden Christensen is going to have a role for future projects, so that's another thing to look forward to. And with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon we hear